Well, good morning. Thank you for being here. I know it's Sunday. I know it's difficult to wake up and to drive yourselves to this point, right? To the Relaciones. Probably now you are a little bit more awake now that you've had your coffee and cookies, yes. It was a little bit more difficult with the previous audience because they were still sleeping, sleepy. So, as you've seen on the event, well, the name of my research is an autonomous practice for all activities in young adult EFL students. Maybe with the title you can infer something. Maybe what you inferred is something different from what I'm going to show you. So let's see how it works. I hope that in the end everyone goes happy and with something new in mind. So as you already heard, I am trying to get a master's degree title, and to get the title they asked me for a project, right? So this is part of that project, right? This is what I've been doing for almost a year now. I've been like pursuing this research. It's like a thesis, and you have to do everything you have to do on a thesis, but they don't call it thesis. They call it PIA, which, as you know, is Producto Integrador de Aprendizaje, right? So, but I've been working on it for a year, almost a year. It's going to be a year in August. I hope that what you get from here is useful, right? So, well, and the kind of research I've been doing, it's called action research. Have you ever heard something about action research, what it implies? Can you tell me some of the ideas that you've got? Or what you have heard? Yes?
Yeah, I guess it involves developing the research in the process of making an intervention.
Uh-huh, exactly, yes. Any other idea that you've got? But action, I mean, you do research, but what's with the action, right?
Maybe to put in practice what you have
Aha, yes, what you have learned, what you have discovered, yeah? So action research is specially designed for us teachers, yes? So any of you in here, you can do action research anytime, in any place where you're working, you can do action research. How does that work? First, you have to identify a problem. In my case, the problem is that I feel students are not developing their oral skills as they should, yes? And so at the end of the course, they are not very proficient English speakers, yeah? I mean, the whole English course, not just, you say, teacher, intro A, and you want them to be proficient English speakers. Well, no, that's not the point, yeah? And so I'm not talking just about my experience in here at Relaciones because I work for INJUVE, for the INJUVE program. I talk about my experience in general, being a teacher for like around 5-6 years. So students sometimes struggle to develop their oral skills, yeah? It's the one that's the most difficult to get. So in this case, I identified that problem. Then what's next? You have to look for different theories, yeah? From where that information is part of. So in this case, well, I will have to look for autonomous learning, which is my focus on how to develop oral activities, etc. So you have to look for those theories. Then you have to put something in practice, yeah, like what I'm going to show you in here. See the results, and once you've checked the results, if it worked, well, that's great. You can report back that it worked and that it was good. If it didn't work, well, you have the chance to start again, yeah, and to start doing the same thing, to modify, to apply again, and see if this time it worked, right? So that's the advantage of action research, that it is cyclical, yeah, so you can do it again and again and again, and probably you will end up getting something good of it, yeah? So you can do action research. Now, let me show you. Well, what I perceived was that students are or can be competent on a test, but they sometimes, as they are competent and can get an 80 and 90, they are not competent in the oral, yeah, in the oral skills. So they don't have that capacity to express themselves orally. Next, I found that sometimes students can feel intimidated, yeah, or pressured by their peers who can be more proficient than them, so they can intimidate them. Or sometimes they feel pressure, like they don't have enough time in class. So my idea is for them to go beyond and practice outside, if that's possible. And well, for me, the focus is that there's an issue here that needs to be covered, which is the importance of developing oral skills. Yeah, sometimes students want to communicate and they cannot communicate. So we need to try to give them what they want to achieve. No? Then give students the opportunity to continue learning outside the classroom. That's my idea, my main goal. All right. So in INJUVE we have 4-hour class, yeah, each Saturday. The rest of the week, sometimes they don't practice. Yeah, they leave their books on the backpack and they don't open it till next Saturday. So we need to give them a chance to do it on their own outside the classroom. And well, here I pretend to use MOL and COL as resources. Have you ever heard about MOL and COL? Do you know what they stand for, these abbreviations? No idea? Well, I'm going to give you a paper with it, but let me tell you briefly. MOL stands for Mobile Assisted Language Learning, and COL is the same, but Computer Assisted Language Learning. So, as most of you have told me you have never heard about them. Well, I've prepared this handout for you, which is a KWL chart. Have you ever used a KWL chart? Yeah, so you already know, most of you already know how it works. On the first column, you will have to write what you know about the topic, in this case, MOL and COL. If you don't have any previous knowledge, well, you can avoid filling this column. On the second column, you have to write what you would like to know or what you want to know, yes, to get to learn about these two topics, yes, MOL and COL. And the third column, you will be able to fill it in when you finish, well, when this presentation is over, so you will fill it in with what you've learned, yeah, during the presentation. So I'm going to give you one, and I'm going to ask you to try to fill the second column, yeah, in order for you to tell me what you want to know or what you would like to know about this topic. There you go. There you go. Well, I can see that most of you are done already. So now what I'm going to ask you to do is to get to compare with the person next to you or the person in front of you or the person behind you. Try to compare what you've got there, okay? Try to see if what you know is similar, if what you know is different, right? All right, so what I know, did you get anything in here? What I know, what you already know. Yes, Bruno, what did you get?
I have heard of COL, but I really didn't know anything about it, so I didn't write anything.
Okay, but you have heard of it.
Heard of
Yeah, the term. Okay, any other contribution over there?
I have used it in class, sometimes unconsciously.
Okay, yes, very good. Any other thing that you added in there?
Those names, I haven't heard about them.
Okay.
Maybe I have applied it
unconsciously, yes. Probably it has happened for everyone, yeah, because many times when we have a computer in the classroom, we can use COL, but without knowing that what we're doing is computer-assisted language learning, right? Properly. So what you would like to know or what you want to know, how did you do there? What did you write? Okay?
Well, I have what mole and call stand for, which I already answered.
Yeah.
How they work, what levels can I use them on, and if they have any kind of cost or special requirements.
Very good. Any other contribution?
What extent of usage would be beneficial more than no?
Okay, yes. More than prejudicial. Any other teacher? Yes, if they are, whether if they are effective or not. Yeah. I'm about to discover that too. Okay, any other thing that you would like to add? No? Okay, so let's move on. Remember that during the presentation, you can be filling in this box, which is what I learned or what you're going to be learning, right? You can write it in here, you can write it in here, or you can use your notebook, all right? First thing, it's small, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So MOL, as you already know, stands for Mobile Assisted Language Learning, right? And there are many definitions. If you go and look on the internet, you're going to find many definitions. Well, this is the one that I am using right now for my research. And, well, it's possible to say that mobile learning exists. When does it exist? When an interactive learning environment is created. So you have to create the environment, yeah, depending on the context. Only you as a teacher know what kind of students you've got, and what you can or can't do with them, yeah? So here you create this environment, yeah? It says here multiple contexts. No matter if you are in a public or a private school, well, you can still do it, yeah? It depends on the age also, but you can still do it, yeah, with kids or with adults, right? And they can have fun, believe it or not. So, and it uses the apps that are there available on the mobile, yeah, as you probably imagine, yeah, that it's a use of apps. So, as you know, we use our cell phones the whole time. Well, I don't know about you, but most people, yes, I cannot generalize, but most people have their cell phones with them all the time, yes. Like, and students, mostly students, yeah, because when we are dealing with teenagers or young adults, the cell phone is like they're precious, yes, and they want to have the cell phone all the time, mostly for social media. But still, we can get an advantage of that, and we can have students to use their cell phones for other purposes, which are educational, but maybe they won't feel it as that, yeah? So it says here, keeping devices away from education nowadays seems to be difficult, yeah? Students are using them all the time, as I already told you. So it will be a good idea to use them, yeah, for benefit of both students and us, teachers, right? Any questions up to here about MOL?
For example, I'm sorry, those are all the apps that we use in order to have this, in order to grow up, develop these skills.
Yes.
It can be, for example, have Kahoot or...
Exactly, yeah. I mean, there are many apps. Yes, you can develop grammar, you can develop vocabulary. What I am intending to do here is to develop their oral skills, yes? But you can use them for any other purpose that you may have. Any other questions?
Like Snapchat.
Yes.
I do it with Snapchat. I told them they have to make a song with the days of the week.
Uh-huh.
In Snapchat, and we have a group in WhatsApp. So they send it, I create it, and that's one.
Uh-huh. That will be mobile assisted language learning. Yes, because they are learning by using their cell phone. Yeah.
Or I had some students download an app called Phonemic Chart.
Okay.
To practice their pronunciation.
The pronunciation.
Record a little paragraph and send it to me.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, that's also part of it. Yeah, but as I told you, it depends. Uh-huh. Exactly. Exactly. It depends on what you want to achieve. Yes, or on what you want to practice, yeah? So, any other questions? There was a question over there? No? All right. Now, let's move to the characteristics or the main characteristics, yeah? There are many more, but these are the main characteristics of MOL specifically. Yeah, first, that it is personalized, okay? So, students can do what they have to do, but on their own way, okay? So they, on their own way, on their own pace, yes. Now, it's authentic. Why? Because there's something on the book, of course, on the content of each course, and that's also authentic to a certain point. But when students get to discover what's on their phones, that there are apps that can help them, well, that's even more authentic. It's something that they are not going to find there on the textbook. Yes. It's portable because you can take the cell phone anywhere, yeah, anywhere, any place. So, and students can use it. There are some apps that have an option to download content or lessons and to see them or to answer without internet connection. So it is not necessary for students to be in their house or at school. They can be maybe in the bus or, yeah, anywhere, and they can still use the app. Yeah, if they are bored, well, maybe they can say, oh, I'm going to learn English right now. It's informal. Sometimes students get tired of formality, yes, of sitting down like you are now, listening to the teacher, checking on the textbook, right? They get tired of that, so they need something else, an extra, yeah. It's continuous because students get to practice every day if they want to, of course, but they can do it. It's not like, oh, we finished the class here and you come here till tomorrow or till next Saturday, yes? So they can do it constantly. It's collaborative, of course, because they need to collaborate to a certain way with their teachers or with their peers. In this case, as we heard, yeah, like they had to record a song. Well, it's a collaboration with their teachers. Yeah, it's a way to collaborate. And it's spontaneous, yeah, because every time you open the app, you can find something different, something useful, yeah, something entertaining, so it's spontaneous. It's not like, you already know what's the routine in the classroom. Well, this is more spontaneous, yeah. Any questions up to here? This is basically MO. Yes, we're going to continue with call, but I want to know if there are no questions. No? Well, you can say them for the end too. Now, CALL, as you already know, stands for Computer Assisted Language Learning. All right? And here we have that CALL, or this type of technology, yeah, is the search for and study of applications of the computer in language teaching and learning. Yeah? So it's basically the same, but on the computer. And in here we can include the websites. Yes, there are some websites which are not available for cell phones. And I've been looking for some apps. Yeah, there are some that cannot be downloaded on the cell phone. They can just be used in the computer. So both are useful. Maybe you will find one more practical than the other because it's easy for students to bring their cell phones, but maybe it's not that easy for them to bring their laptops. Yes. So they will, yes. There's one, I remember one which is called Socrative. Have you ever heard of it? Yeah, that one's like also part of CALL. Yeah, there's a platform and you can create quizzes. Students get there, they get to answer, get to complete, right? That will be part of CALL. Yeah, absolutely. And so here, the main aim of CALL, yeah, is to find ways for using computers for the purpose of teaching and learning the language, yeah. And here you have some examples. You can have guided drill, a tutor, simulations, problem solving, games, internet apps, yeah. We can even use the email and chat, but for learning purposes, yeah. It's not the same, like, write an email. Just write an email about, I don't know, a doubt that you have to me. Well, no. What about write an email? Maybe the task in class is to write a formal email. So you can tell students, okay, now you're going to write a formal email to me and you're going to send it during the week. Yes, you have to include this and this and this. With that, they are practicing. Not properly the oral skills, yeah? That is what I'm checking on. But they are practicing writing, yeah? So it depends. Again, it depends on your goals and on what you want to achieve. Now, any questions for CALL before we move on? No? So the main characteristics, yeah, we already checked mole. Now, the main characteristics of call. Well, it's interactive. There's interactivity over there, yeah, same as with the cell phone. So we know that interaction is one of the main things that influences student learning, yeah. Even if it's not with a real person, with peers, well, they are interacting with the computer, with the cell phone, yeah. It is learner-centered, yeah, because the learner needs are different for each learner. Each single learner has different needs. So this is depending on the learner, he or we can choose, yeah, something that is adapt for them. Now you've got digitized audio to model pronunciation. Have you ever checked on pages, special web pages that have the phonetic sounds?
Yeah.
Yes? So there's one, teacher on the previous talk was telling me one that was part of the University of Ohio or something. And so I remember to see it on a workshop too, on a previous workshop. So here they have the sounds, each phonetic sound, and they have a diagram of the speech organs. So they show students, besides listening, students can see how they have to move their tongue, their lips, yeah, how they have to blow in order to produce that sound. So this is also very interesting. If you want your students to improve their pronunciation, well, you can use call, but focusing on those pages, yes, for pronunciation. What else? Well, you have animated graphics to illustrate meanings, yeah, which you don't have on the book. Yeah, you have pictures, but they are not animated, okay? Sometimes a graphic illustrates a meaning better, yeah. And you know, if you work here at Relaciones or at a school where you have a computer, sometimes it is better to show students something that it's in motion, yeah, so they can learn specifically the vocabulary that is abstract, yeah. Because how do you explain, I don't know, well, maybe responsible is very obvious, but which is another adjective that you will struggle explaining? Another adjective that you say, this is very difficult to show with a picture. Okay, loyal or loyalty. How do you explain loyalty? Yeah, maybe if you show them a video or a short graphic. Okay, being self-conscious. Yes, that's a very hard one. Yeah, so that's another advantage. Now, instant retrieval of vocabulary and grammar explanations. Yes, if students want to access to I don't know, family vocabulary, yeah, or animals vocabulary. Of course, it's very simple, yeah. Something more complex like, I don't know, adjectives of personality, and they can access anytime, and they will get a list of these adjectives, mostly on websites, right? Sometimes these websites are interactive, and sometimes they've got grammar explanations too, yeah. They have the exercise, they answer the exercise, and they have a grammar explanation of it. Maybe it's not as good as the one a teacher could give in class, yeah, because it's over there written and maybe it's not clear, but it helps, yeah. Now, it is possible to keep scores, yeah, on these websites where they have to answer a certain exercise. Log errors and track learner performance. They can see how they are doing. If they answer an exercise about past simple, they may see, well, I'm not very good with my pasts. Yes, I don't remember the verbs in past because they see all of the errors they made. And sometimes they also get the explanation of why they made that error. And this is a repeated exposure. Students are going to be exposed as long as they want. If they spend a lot of time in the computer, well, that's going to be a long time practicing. If they want to, yeah. In a moment, we're going to get to that, if they want to or if they don't want to, yeah, which is part of motivation. So now, any questions up to here?
Like the software that the web site from publishers that count in code, right?
Yes.
Because, for example, I use the interchange arcade, which they work with. At the end, it issues a report that you can print.
Yes.
Percentage time and how many errors and all that. So
Yeah, that counts. Yes,
counts in that.
exactly. Any website which is designed for learning, it counts. Yeah, maybe you can see a website and it was not specifically designed for learning. It helps. Well, maybe it's not part of it.
How about dictionary? Because I use dictionary.com
Uh-huh.
and I pay for the app in my phone, but you can also use it in the web.
Yes.
And it has like quote of the day and the word of the day and it has
Yes.
pronunciation, origin of the word, etc., etc. So that could
That could also be a resource. Yes, to learn vocabulary. Yeah, I also have the Webster, but that one's very useful too. I don't pay for it, but still it's very useful. And I used to tell my students, like, you can download it if you want to, because they are in the class and sometimes they are struggling to know how to spell a word. So I tell them, well, you can try writing there the word. If it says no results, it means that the word doesn't exist. So you are spelling it in the wrong way, yeah? Because you can do that with no internet connection, yeah? And in Hube, there's no internet connection. Well, not that I know. as in here in Relaciones, that would be different.
Dictionary.com is like 40 pesos or 50 pesos for the app.
Uh-huh.
And the difference between the free version is that it actually downloads all the pronunciation of the dictionary.
Okay.
And it doesn't occupy that much space in the cell phone.
That's good.
So that's why I bought it.
Yes, because on the Webster, you need internet connection in order
Yeah,
to listen to the pronunciation. Yes.
There's also a visual dictionary.
Okay.
It's also Merriam-Webster's visual dictionary. Very useful because it has all the categories, science, animals, plants. So it gives you these beautiful illustrations of the words.
The word,
So
uh-huh.
For the first level, so any level, you can just take a look at it. It's very
Yeah.
visual dictionary.
That would be very useful. Yeah, of course, those counts as more. Yeah, as long as it serves learning purposes, it counts. Yeah. So, yes.
Is this something that we do as an activity only, or how long do we have to do this in the classroom?
Okay. Yeah, that depends. For example, on the context. If you know that your students are already proficient English speakers, well, you can give them something more challenging, yes? Like, well, you are already proficient. You have to do a video. You have to go and interview a person, yeah? 15 minutes, the whole time speaking in English, and you have to improvise, no, yeah? Something like that. So it's up to you. For example, in my case, I am thinking of using it, the whole course, which is 7 weeks, if you don't count the last one, because the last one is for the exam. So the 7 weeks, and then to see if it works or not. I mean, if students really improve in their oral production, or if they don't. So of course, if I see that they didn't improve, I will have to go back again, check what was wrong, what other apps should be used, etc.
And another thing that I was wondering
Mm-hmm.
is, like, we are in places or schools, private schools, that most of us have access to internet.
Yeah.
But what happens? Well, I would think about other people.
Mm-hmm.
Some schools don't have any internet access, or some students
Yeah.
don't even have cell phones.
Exactly. Well,
that's my question.
for me, as in the place where I am right now, they don't have internet connection. Students don't have internet connection. That's why I'm thinking of this project as an autonomous way of working. Yeah, so they will be working in their houses, where I suppose everyone has an internet connection. Yes, I suppose. Yeah, that's why also it takes. I mean, action research takes like, well, not kind of quizzes, but how could I say? I mean, a research of what's going to be your group of study and what are their needs and what they have, yeah? If they have internet, if they don't have internet, if they have... I've seen that most of them have a phone, that's for sure, and it's a smartphone, yeah? They don't have Nokias, or no, they have smartphone. So I'm counting on them having internet on their houses so they can do it there. I mean, outside, not inside. But that's what I told you. For example, people who work in here at Relaciones, you can easily get to use this technology if you have iPads, if you have the projector, if you have a computer, right? So it depends on your context, but you can still try and adapt something, some of these apps to your needs, right? That's what I'm thinking. I hope I'm not wrong. If that's the issue, I will have to start my research again. So, let's see. Well, next. Yeah, I remember. There's a mistake in the presentation. There's a text that isn't supposed to be showing in there. So for you to do something. So I'm not going to show it to you. I'm just going to tell you the next issue is autonomous learning, yeah, or autonomous language learning. So before we get into the topic, I would like you to help me out writing some ideas of what you consider to be autonomous language learning. Well, I don't have it as language learning. I just have it as autonomous learning. Yeah. Learning. And so, well, let's try and do this like a brainstorming. If you run out of space, you can write more ideas. I don't think so. In the morning, there were just like 6 people who wanted to write something. But let's see if we can get more people to try and write something. Just what comes to your mind when you see autonomous learning, right? What comes to your mind? Freedom, no teacher, I don't know, anything, any idea that comes to your mind. Who would like to be first? Thank you. There you go. Can you pass the marker to another person who would like to participate? Yeah, just do it. Like Nike. It's independent. Okay, very good. Anyone else? Volunteers, please. I don't like having big teams. It's self-driven, self-direct, yes. Motivation, yes, that's the key, actually. That's the key. Motivation. No, it's okay.
I want to say that it's available all the time.
Okay. Anyone else who would like to participate? Who would like to? We don't want to force anyone in here, okay? Permanent, yeah, available. Okay, yes, something students do by themselves. Any other volunteer? Or should I keep the marker? No? Okay, well, so can you see what's written in here? Yeah, we've got motivation, something that students do by themselves, something that's permanent, that's available the whole time. Yeah, it's self-driven, it's independent work, and in fact, it's something that students just have to go and do. Right? But here, as I told you, motivation is the key. If students are not motivated, they are not going to do it. Yeah. So motivation, sometimes students are motivated for a week, like this popular app, Duolingo, probably you've heard of it. Sometimes students are motivated for a week, like, yes, I'm going to use it, I'm going to learn a lot. And then, second week, I don't have time, I have other things to do, so motivation falls down. Now, autonomous learning, yeah? If you look at the picture, it says that autonomy is a desire for one to be self-direct. So for me to know what I'm going to learn, how am I going to learn it, yes, how am I going to do it. So, and you have here the definition, which is given by Benson. Benson is a very popular figure in education. So self-direct learning is used to describe a process, yeah, where individuals take the initiative when they have to. And how do they take the initiative? Well, first, they diagnose their learning. They make conscious of what they need to learn, all right? So they might say, well, we are checking the simple past in class, so I need to learn the verbs in past. How am I going to do it? Well, they formulate learning goals. I'm going to learn 5 verbs, 5 irregular verbs each day of the week, or 3, or 1. It depends, yes? Now, they identify learning resources. How can I learn this? With a list of verbs, with a web page, with an app. How? They choose and implement learning strategies. Yes, like mole and call could be examples. Well, or better than that, learning strategies. Well, I'm going to memorize. I'm going to write them down 5 times each. What are they going to do? There's a student who used to tell me, teacher, I'm not good at memorizing. And then that was quite a challenge, because what's the only way to learn the verbs in past? I will say that it's to memorize, yeah. But, well, then there are some other ways. Therefore, here we have learning strategies. So, and evaluating outcomes. Students have to be able to evaluate themselves, okay? Did I do it good enough? Did I learn the 3 verbs that I intended to learn every day? Yeah. So those are the main characteristics of autonomous learning. Now, yes,
Just
teacher.
a comment question. Very interesting, because I think perhaps a lot of students sometimes, I don't know, perhaps the older ones, adults, come
Yes.
from methodology of teaching, learning that is more not so autonomous, but rather
Yeah.
the traditional
The
way.
teacher is the authority,
Exactly,
yeah.
and they receive like they're the banks and they're receiving the information.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage to present them with this new methodology, right? Because they're perhaps they're used to the old
Yeah.
methodology, so now I am the one who has to do
Yes, the teacher is the one who has to give me everything, and
Yes,
I'm just gonna receive. Well, yeah, actually that happens with adults, but that also happens with young generations. I mean, they are so used to getting everything that they won't feel the need to worry about being autonomous. Yeah, they will say, why should I care? So I have actually in the next slide a diagram which was, comes from an author who's called Hilgard, and he has this theory of learning. So this diagram is like adapt from that theory, and it's on how to try to grow learner autonomy, yeah? We know that it's not easy and that it's not gonna happen in 1 or 2 days, but probably there are ways in which we can grow learner autonomy. So how? Firstly, by letting learners to be independent, but starting with small things, small details, yeah? Not like, you open the door, you come to the classroom and you say, students, well, today you're gonna teach yourselves. I'm not gonna teach you anything. You have to give the class and you have to explain me the grammar, and you have to mention the vocabulary, and you have to look for the meaning. I'm just gonna sit in here. No. So independent how? Well, maybe by letting them see the grammar box by themselves. Yes? Oh, you check them? You check the grammar box? Okay. What's the topic? Present progressive. Okay, try to read, check the examples, and after that, you will tell me what you understood of present progressive. Okay, and they are being independent on a way, yeah? And then you say, well, now we're going to check and we're going to explain. The whole class together explains the grammar point. So they are being independent, yeah? So that way they start getting used to it. Yes, that's the first step. Which is another step? for students to be self-direct. So they have to engage in the process and they have to evaluate their learning, their learning outcomes. Oh, am I learning? Yeah, because students are not used to do that. Yes, they don't wonder themselves, am I learning? Yes. Am I doing the most of myself? Yeah, so self-direct. Why do I need it? Why do I have to worry about learning? Yes. Now, decision highly developed. Here it says highly developed, but let's leave it on developed decision-making skills, right? How? For students to choose, yeah? And for this, we can take to the class some activities where they have to choose, yeah? Oh, I have 2 activities to practice the present progressive. Which one would you like better? Yeah. So, and they can decide. And without noticing, then they can replicate that outside the classroom. And they can decide on a website, which website is better. Yeah. Self-awareness. What do you know of self-awareness? Are you self-aware? Yes. We as teachers, we have to be self-aware. Yeah. What's my teaching methodology? How am I as a teacher? Yes. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, it's like an evaluation where they discover what they are doing right or wrong.
Exactly. Students need to know their character. Yeah. Students need to know how they behave. Yeah. Under pressure, under stress. Yeah. So students need to know if they are lazy, if they are responsible. Yeah. What works better for them. I was telling the people in the morning, well, if you know, or if a student knows that he is very lazy, yeah, maybe he can, and that he works on a reward base, yeah, that he needs to get a reward to do something. Well, he may say, if I learn this in this week, and if I do well in my English class, when I finish the class, I can go out and I can buy myself a cake, yeah. Maybe that works for the student. So that's why self-awareness is important. Students need to know themselves, yeah, to know what works for them. Now, well, we need to make it collaborative, yeah, not to go, be autonomous. No. They have to work with the teacher and they have to work with their peers, yeah, in some occasions. Self-motivated. Well, I was telling you, motivation is the key. If students are not self-motivated, of course, you as a teacher, you can give them the motivation, yeah, but it's like maybe 50-50 in this case. So you can give them the motivation on Saturday for them to practice during the week, but if they don't get the other 50 that come from them, they won't do it, yes. So you need to work really hard on this part of motivating students and try for them to motivate themselves, yes. And finally, it is critically reflective. Well, is it easy to criticize oneself? No, yes. Sometimes we need another teacher to come and to observe our class and to tell us what we're doing wrong because we don't notice, yes. That will happen for students too. So, but they need to learn to reflect on what they are doing and to criticize their progress if it is if they are doing good or if they are not doing progress, any progress at all. Yeah. Any questions from here, from this diagram? How can I do it?
Based on what you are referring, in your own course, what is the role of the teacher in that scenario?
In here, a facilitator and, well, a person or a teacher who motivates students, yeah? Because if you give students everything, they will get used to it, yes? As teacher Erasmo was saying, they come with that idea that the teacher gives, they receive, they go home, and if they didn't learn, well, doesn't matter. The teacher will solve it, yes? I didn't learn this topic, but doesn't matter. Next week, I will ask the teacher, and he will explain me, and he will help me with the review for the exam, and I will pass, yes? No, so they should have the idea that, well, the teacher is giving us something. What the teacher is giving us is something little. I have to go, and I have to look for something more, and I have to learn a little bit more for the next class, so when I come into the classroom, I am more prepared, yeah? So yeah, I will say it as that, a facilitator. Yeah. Any other questions, doubts, guys, before we move on? No? Wow. Well, before we get to do this teamwork, right now I'm gonna show you some apps and some websites that I've been checking on. I've checked many, but these are the ones that have caught my interest the most, and I'm still deciding which ones are the ones that I'm going to use with my students, because I'm not 100% sure of what will work for them. First app is Quizlet. Have you ever heard of Quizlet? Yes. So in here, maybe the diagrams are for you are useful for kids. Yeah. If you see the diagrams, you might think, well, this is more for little children. It can work with adults, but it depends on what you want to do. You have many things here, not only English. Actually, if you work in a bilingual college, this is very useful because you've got geography, biology, yes, anatomy even, okay, plant cells, the greenhouse effect, yeah, Central America, countries, social studies. You have here the categories. You have Spanish too, yes, in case that you're teaching Spanish to foreign people. You've got French. You've even got German, okay? And so you can click on any diagram. Well, let's try click on this one, the greenhouse effect. And for each diagram here, you have different options, which are learn. In here, it shows you greenhouse, trap heat, and you have to select, yeah, trap heat. You click in here, and then it keeps telling you, all right, the other terms. Grade, yeah. In here, they select the one that you have to grade, and well, you have to remember the name. Test. Once you've studied, you can test, or your students can test themselves, yeah? Written questions, okay? Type the answer. And then you have multiple choice questions, all right? Match, well, that's a matching. And finally, this one is Leave, which is something similar to Kahoot, if you've heard of Kahoot, yeah? This is something very similar. Let me show you a little bit of the video.
Meet Quizlet Live, the easy-to-use classroom game that blends competition and collaboration to engage every student in learning. Quizlet Live groups students into teams that must work together to win. While teams are prompted with the same set of questions, each teammate sees different possible answers.
So this is interesting. They get the same set of questions, but they need to communicate in order to get the right answer, because just one person has the right answer. So it's not like, we're working in teams, but we're not communicating. No, they have to in order to win, yeah?
And only one person per team has the match. Students need to communicate to choose the correct answer and move forward in the game. As they play, the teacher's screen acts as an interactive leaderboard, tracking each team's progress and adding fire to the competition. If a team answers incorrectly, they go all the way back to the start, so choosing simply for speed won't work. Instead, the stronger their teamwork, the faster they'll go.
So this reinforces a lot of teamwork, yeah? If they're working in teams, they will get to win, yeah? If they're working on their own, probably they will lose, okay? And here you can also have a group. Here you have the option, create a class. Yeah, you can give the class a name, you can enter a description, and you can enter the school name, and then you have your class. So your students just log in, and you can already have a folder with materials that they will be working with that day or that week. So that will be useful. Maybe not properly for the oral skills, but this will be useful for you if you have like some other classes which are not English, or even if you're checking one of these topics in your English class, well, go ahead. Next one, let me go up. This is Hello Talk, and this is available for your phone, iOS and Android, both of them. Now, you learn a language by chatting with native speakers around the world, and it's free, yeah, no charge. So what do you have to do? Download the app. If you don't want to learn English, you as teachers, you can use it to learn another language, yeah, if you're interested. And so, well, you have a worldwide community because of the native speakers that are part of this. You have text, voice, and video. You can send text message, voice message, or you can have a video chat. Yes. And it has intuitive language tools, which are like this. For example, when you're chatting, it corrects your spelling, or if you are using a grammar structure and on an incorrect way, well, it tells you the right way. Like here, it says, what would like to do? What would like to do? Instead of what do you like to do? Yeah, so it's, and you have here reply, translate, correction, yeah, copy, speak. You've got many options. So what else? Well, it's basically the same. You can also learn with moments. You can share moments, videos. So this is another option that you may have. Another one is Speak It, but this is only available for Android. Yes, no iOS. So here you have like different passages. Of course, this is adapted for children probably, because it may seem something childish for an adult to read about a baby crocodile. Yes. So, but they can read, and this app, by what I have read of it, it monitors, and you can see here, it monitors the speed, yeah, the pitch, the volume. So it can let students know how they are doing when they read, if they have enough volume, if the pitch is right, yes. Yeah, Speak It. It's Speak It. So it says, sorry? Apparently, yes, because it says enter text in one of 5 languages, yes, and hear the pronunciation of the word. So it says ability to check how you pronounce phrases, so students can know if they are pronouncing right or wrong, and it controls the pitch and the speed of the pronunciation. Yeah, so it's very, very, very interesting. 3.9. It's very interesting. The bad thing here is that it's only available for Android. Yeah, because I tried looking and I couldn't find it. So another one, let me go up. Okay, it's called Fluent U. Fluent U. Now here, well, you have, I was showing the video. This is the example. It's for Chinese, a person who knows English and is learning Chinese, but you can also adapt it for English learning. So let me show you how it works.
At the heart of Fluent U is a carefully curated collection of real-world videos. With content like TV shows, music videos, news, and more, language learning truly comes to life. Fluent U brings that content within reach using interactive captions. You can hover over any word to instantly pause the video and get more information. You'll see definitions and examples that have been carefully.
Yes, you can see here, well, the person has here English, yeah, in order to try and learn Chinese. So will you go? And he can go sound by sound, see if it is a pronoun, if it is a verb, if it is an adjective, and the pronunciation. Okay? So in this case, it's ni. It's difficult to learn Chinese, right? So, but probably you can try. Yes, it's probably available for more languages, not only Chinese. English, as by what I checked, English, I don't know if French too. But, well, you can try it. Yes, it will also be useful. Now, well, this is for you to check how it works. Next one, it's called ABA. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
ABA English, yeah, which is American and British Association Academy of English. And here, well, the thing that it's important or that might be motivating for students is that they have the natural language acquisition methodology, yeah? How? Because they have these kind of videos and, well, they have the films, yeah? One way to learn is through a film, which is basically the same as watching a movie in English. For this option, I think you have to pay something extra for you to have like your personal native teacher, yes. So, and this teacher monitors your progress, answers your questions, and so on. Maybe this will be for more advanced students who want to get another outcome. You can use it anytime or anywhere because you have like an option that where you don't need internet connection. And well, here it tells you why you should choose the app. So this is another option. This one is called Speaking Paul. Have you ever heard of it?
That the one which elderly people from the nursing home talk to anybody?
Maybe it's similar. Well, in this case, they are not real people. Let me tell you, they are like videos. But this is useful. Maybe you may say, well, but students are not interested in that. If they are not proficient and if they are ashamed of making mistakes, what will be useful for them is to speak with a person who's not really a person, yeah? So they will feel like they are practicing and they are speaking, but it will be a video, and so if they make a mistake, there won't be no one to judge them. So they will feel that that reliance, no? So it says like speaking with a person. So short phone dialogues with a video character. And well, it has speech recognition, yeah? You get instant feedback, right? Of every word and sentence you say, they give you feedback. So you have here, it's the best day of my whole life, for example. Hello, how are you today? It's the best day of my whole life. And so on. So it's a video, yeah? You can also take quizzes. That's another option. And you have video lessons. You can look at the video lesson and learn how to behave in that situation. Well, students. So, well, here's more information. And that's Speaking Paul, yeah. Here it says get it on Google Play, so maybe this one is just available for now. Well, but here it says mobile, tablet, and PC. So you can implement both mol and call, yeah, with this one. This is Elsa. Have you ever heard of it? Yes. So Elsa teaches you to speak English fluently. This is available for both. Yes, here it says Android and iOS. So the best way to learn English conversation, speak English, same. It's similar to speaking Paul, but it's not the same. Short phone dialogues, yeah. Also, you get the feedback, and here you have the lessons like consonant cluster, meetings, yeah, presentation. So students can get to practice on the lesson you're checking on the class, right? Well, this is a testimonial. That's basically Elsa. And there's another, well, let me show you this one first. You already know Hangouts. So Hangouts are another way in which you can get to connect with your students, right? You can ask them to have video calls or phone calls, depending if they have a good relationship among them, because sometimes students don't want to see each other, not in the classroom, not outside the classroom. So if they have a good relationship, a good group relationship, well, they can use this app, and you can monitor if they are doing it or not, and how. And another option that you have is to use Google Sites. Yeah, so you can create your own website, and in here, for example, I added intro B, yeah, the duration, and in here, students can upload images, videos, text, right? Same, depending on what you're doing, you can adapt this to your needs, yes. And with the videos, students will be able to practice, yeah, to achieve a better pronunciation at the end. So, well, these are all of the ones that I have. My idea was for you to get to interact with the apps, but they told me that internet connection here sometimes is unstable. So I decided to show you instead of you interacting, because maybe that will be more difficult. And now what I would like to do is to get to talk one more time with the person next to you or with the people next to you and mention which will be a good idea. Yes, I mean, which of these will be a good idea for you to use with your students, because only you know what kind of students you have. So which would be a good idea to use, and why would you like to use it? Yes? Could you please do that? Try and check which one would you use. Okay, teachers, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're running out of time. So I would like to ask you, what did you get from your discussion with your peers? Which apps or would you like to use, or which ones you think are not useful at all? Any comments? Any recommendations? Yes, please.
We came up with the comment that basically refers to how much are we supposed to use from our textbooks.
Uh-huh.
And I said as much as you want, because sometimes the app itself gives you what the book has already.
Yes.
But I think it's more playful with this one, with the app,
Mm-hmm.
than with the textbook.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a requirement of school for students to complete the textbook. Yeah, because, for example, in private schools, they say it's because their parents are paying for the books, and at the end of the year, if they are not complete, they will feel like they paid for nothing, right? Yes.
And we know it's culturally biased anyway. We can use that as many times as we.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Any other comment, contribution? Which app did you like better? Kahoot? Yes.
There's a new version in which the students can create
Their own quiz, their own Kahoot. Yeah, that one's very, and besides, it motivates students because they say, we want to win. I mean, and they get to work with that in mind. Like, we want to win. Yes, we want the prize, or we want the extra points. I don't know. Any other that you would like to mention? Fluent U.
One of the best ones I've used before.
Uh-huh.
I would really highly recommend it.
Okay, so you've already used it before. Thank you very much. I will think about that one. Any other? No more?
I didn't know
Yes.
any of these apps. I didn't know them. I'm gonna check them out.
Yes.
And the thing that was telling my partner here is that you're not aware, but you're using technology to hold your classes.
Mm-hmm.
I would get on YouTube, and for example, I was teaching about a next topic.
Yes.
And I would get a video which was not that long, or it
Uh-huh.
depends, right? But I didn't know there were.
Yeah, and there are many more. I mean, I'm showing you these ones because they are set to promote oral skills. But if you want to promote any other skill, you can look for different apps. There are many. Yes, I assure you there are many. So just before we go, let's check on some general conclusions that I made. Probably you have something more that you would like to add in here, but well, let's mention and then let's see if you have any other ideas. So, general conclusions. It's a good idea to give students an opportunity to continue learning when they are outside the classroom. Yes, not only when they are in the classroom. okay? Now, another one, MOL and COL are both useful if we want students to be motivated, because what better way to motivate students than telling them that they are going to be working on their computers or on their cell phones, yeah? Now, becoming an autonomous learner is quite a challenge. We've seen that it's not easy, yes? But, last conclusion, even if it's a challenge, it's not impossible. So we can have students to become maybe not completely autonomous, because that will be difficult, but more than they are at the beginning of the course, right? Now, I don't know if you have any other thing to add in here as a general conclusion of this topic that we have been reviewing? So, okay, and here, yes, very good. Here I've written my email, because in the previous talk they asked me for it. In case you want the presentation, or in case you want, I have some links, some PDFs that I have been using to do this research on autonomous learning, on COL, MOL. So you can have access to them, and maybe in that way you can get to have more information and to apply this with your students. Why not? Yes. So it's, in case you cannot see, it's lauragz66@hotmail.com, or you can also use the Gmail, and it's the same, okay? It doesn't change. It's the same email. Yes, just one more thing. One more thing. This is a quote that I really like, and I hope you like it too. It says, control leads to compliance, but autonomy leads to engagement. Yeah, if you control your students, they are going to be just like, whatever, yeah, what the teacher says, or I don't care if I learn, I don't care if I don't learn, it's up to the teacher, yeah. So they are going to be very comfortable. But on the other hand, if you use autonomy, well, students will get engaged into the class, and probably they're going to learn a little bit more than you were expecting before. So that will be it, and thank you for being here. Thank you.